So lesson 4, do the maths. What is this all about? Well, it's all about turning your idea and your goals into numbers, basically. Because in order to be able to get your idea to help you to reach your goals, you've got to have a figure in mind, basically. To start any business, you've really got to do the maths to know whether that business concept is actually viable or not. So you've got to figure out, okay, how much can I earn with this business? And is that enough to help me to reach my goals? So for me, for example, when I was employed, I was earning a certain amount, not very much. Then when I took over my dad's business, I started to earn more because I was running the business. But I later realised that what I was earning, what I was paying myself, was not enough to actually reach my goals. So I was working really hard and not earning enough to actually fulfill my goal of having some free time to be able to do my volunteer work. So for me, I needed to earn basically a full-time wage with part-time working hours. And I quite quickly realised that in order to reach my goal of having some days each week free to do my volunteer work, I would have to put my prices up so that I could earn a full-time wage in a part-time working week, if you see what I mean. So, for example, if your goal is to have one day a week free with your family, say you want to take Fridays off to just do stuff with your partner, wouldn't that be nice? Fridays could be your weekly day where you go out and do something nice with your partner. That's a nice goal to have, right? But what you've got to realise then is actually in order to do that, you've got to earn in 4 days what you would usually earn in 5 days. Or you've got to bring your expenses down so you don't need to earn as much as you did before. So this is why we need to do the maths. And in order to really calculate all of these things, what you need to know is your cost of living. So for each of us, that will vary, right? But you need to write down, basically do a budget if you haven't done so already. I mean, doing a budget is really important for every household. Every household should have an accurate budget. But if you haven't done it already, take some time to write down all of your expenses. And an easy way to do this is just to go through your bank statement. Get, say, your last 6 months of bank statements, for example, go through them, and every time there's a recurring payment for something, note it down. You can make a spreadsheet and just put in the figures that are going out of your account each month. So major things, obviously, are your rent or your mortgage payments, your bills like your council tax, your phone bill, your internet bill, your electric bill, your gas bill. And then you've got obviously your food budget that you've got to care for each month. You've got things like to do your regular expenses for leisure. Maybe you've got a Netflix subscription and your YouTube premium subscription, of course. And you might have a season ticket at the football club or something like that. All of these kind of things should be part of your budget so that you can condense your whole year's worth of expenditure into a monthly figure. And that monthly figure then gives you the amount you need to earn each month to live and to pay all of your bills and not get into debt. And you also need to be able to save some money for the future, right? If you don't already save every month, you really need to. You need to save and invest for the future. So the recommendation by a lot of financial advisors is you should save at least 10% of what is your normal monthly expenditure. Save 10% of that every month so that you have some money for a rainy day or things that might go wrong in the future. In fact, everyone should have 6 months of money aside to be able to, like as an emergency fund, for example, say that you had an accident, you couldn't work for 6 months, you've got 6 months worth of bills put aside so that you are all right for those 6 months. If the worst happened and you got injured or you couldn't work for whatever reason, you've got that buffer there. Obviously there's insurance and things like that which can help with that, and we'll talk about that later on in the course, but basically the idea is to do a budget. And I'll leave some links in the description in the course notes here of some articles that can help you to do that budget. We're not going to go through now exact hows and how nots to do a budget, but I'll leave some useful material there to help you to be able to do a budget yourself. So when you do your budget and you divide it into a monthly figure, you get this figure of £2,000 a month, okay? Then what you need to do is say, well, my goal is to work such and such an amount of days. So then you divide that amount by those number of days, and that gives you the amount of profit that your business actually needs to make in order to be able to pay for your lifestyle. So for example, if I earn £2,000, I need to earn £2,000 a month just to pay all my bills, and I want to work 4 days a week, right? So that's 16 days a month, say on average. So how much do I need to earn a day in order to earn in 4 days a week my monthly figure of £2,000? Well, easy calculation. All you need to do is calculate it. So if I do 2,000 divided by 4 times 4 days a week for 4 weeks, that's 16. So 2,000 divided by 16, I need to earn £125 a day of profit in order to pay me that £2,000. We say profit. That's really important because turnover and profit are two different things. So your business may turn over £100,000, but you might only make £20,000 of profit. And we're going to learn in this course how to make a business more profitable. But for the moment, what we need to know, if profit is the money that you end up with in your pocket, in your personal pocket at the end of the day, after all your bills for your business are paid and all your taxes are paid, that's how much you end up with in your pocket, basically. Net profit is what it's called. You need to earn 125 quid a day of net profit in order to pay all your monthly expenses for working 4 days a week. And you might think, okay, that's not too bad. That sounds quite doable. So can I earn 125 quid a day of profit from working 4 days a week in my particular niche? You need to do a bit of research about that. So you might search around for prices for other companies, what they're offering. Be careful with that though, because remember that you are going to offer a niche service that's really of a high caliber. So you're probably going to be able to charge more than what your competitors charge. So you can basically set your prices at the level they need to be in order to earn your desired amount of money. But can you see how the maths are so important? Because if I realised that to reach my goals, my idea of discount electrical was not going to work because I could only earn 50 quid a day of profit if I was doing discount electrical, then I'd have to rethink my idea in order to reach my goals, you see. Because you might say, okay, I can earn 50 quid a day doing discount electrical, but that means I'm going to need to actually employ 3 people doing 50 quid a day profit each in order to actually reach my goals. And I can't just start out employing 3 people from scratch, it doesn't work. So doing the math is really important, and it all starts with doing our own personal budget, and then getting this figure in mind that you need to reach of your net profit that you need to earn per day. Is a really good figure generally, and remember that you'll have a lot of downtime in your business as well. Say for example you're charging 200 quid a day, right? But your business expenses and everything, when you deduct those, you end up with 125 quid a day. There's a lot of overheads to running a business that mean that you don't end up with as much money in your pocket as what you charge the customer. And that's really key. So that's why profit margins are important, because if you can get a good high percentage of profit margin on each job, then that means you end up with more money actually in your pocket at the end of the day, rather than just spending loads of money on business expenses and ending up with hardly any money left in your pocket. And that's again why it's good to aim for a high-end market in general, rather than aiming cheap. So that leads us to defining our target customer. This all goes in hand, you see, so that's leading us into the next lesson. So click forward to the next lesson if you want to learn about defining your target customer.